Customers open the company site and the browser slams the door. Your connection is not private. The security certificate expired at midnight, but here is the twist. Renewal was automated. It was supposed to be impossible for this to happen. By the end of this case, you will know how certificates work, why the automation died in silence, and the one command that checks any site's expiry. Let's go. Quick question before we dig in. The renewal was automated, yet the cert still expired. What is the most likely reason? Pause and lock one in. First, the one command worth memorizing. Open SSL, S-client, opens a real TLS connection to a server, exactly like a browser would. Dash connect, then the host and port. 443 is the HTTPS port. This says, go talk to that server. Then we read that certificate with Open SSL X509-dates. It prints 2 lines, when the cert became valid and when it stops. We will do it in 2 quick steps. Let's point it at our own site. Rule 1 always, see it yourself. Curl the site. -SS keeps it quiet but still shows errors. And there is the verdict in plain words. The certificate has expired, so the browsers are right. Step 1. Connect to our own server and save the exact certificate it is handing out into a file. Step 2. Read that file's dates and look at the second line. Not after. The cert stopped being valid at midnight today. It is not a maybe, it is a date in the past. Let's make trust make sense with something familiar. A passport. At the top sits an authority everyone has agreed to trust. For a passport, it is a government. Here, it is a certificate authority, a CA. The C assigns our site certificate. That signature is the C of vouching. This server really is shop.internal. The browser trusts the certificate only because it already trusts the C that signed it. That whole chain is what the padlock means. And here is the part that bit us. Just like a passport, every certificate carries an expiry date. Past that date, border control stops accepting it, no matter how real it looks. The browser does exactly the same. That is the wall our customers just hit. So what is actually inside that certificate? Think of it like the pages of a passport. 4 things worth knowing. The subject. Who the certificate is for, like the name page. Here, shop.internal. The issuer, who signed it and is vouching for it. For us, our own authority. The validity window, a not before and a not after. The 2 dates we just read. Past the not after, it is dead. And the public key, which actually locks the encryption. The dates are the part that bit us. So why do certificates expire at all? Hold that thought for the postmortem. Renewal was automated, so let's find the automation. A systemd timer. There it is. Renewal timer, scheduled daily, so the machinery exists. Let's just run it by hand and watch. Start the renewal service, and it fails immediately. The job failed, so the renewal has been there the whole time. It just cannot do its job. Why? Ask the service's own logbook. Journal CTL-U, the renewal service, and there is the real reason, 3 words, no space left on device. The renewal cannot write, the disk is full. To find the culprit, we use DU. Disk usage. It adds up how much space files and folders actually take. -X keeps it on this one disk, so it does not wander into other mounts and confuse us. -H means all files in human sizes. We sort biggest first and take the top few. The eater rises to the top. Confirm it first. DF-H shows each disk in human sizes. The partition our renewal writes to is 100% full, 0 bytes free. Now drill in with the command from the board. And the eater is obvious. The renewal's own debug log. Never rotated, it quietly grew until it filled the very disk the renewal needs. The tool starved itself. Clear the old log. And to be clear, the real fix is log rotation, so this can never creep back. But right now, we stop the bleeding. Check again, space is back, the disk can breathe. Now run the renewal again. No errors this time. It minted a fresh certificate from our authority and reloaded the server. Read the freshly installed certificate. Not after is now 90 days in the future. The certificate is alive again. And the only test that counts. From the front door, like a customer, the page loads. Padlock restored. But we are not done. We still do not know why nobody was warned for weeks. The site is back, but the scary part is not that the renewal failed. It is that it failed over and over for weeks and not one person found out. Let's fix the silence. Read the renewal service's own definition. It runs the script. That works. But look at what is not here. There is no on failure line. So when this service dies, systemd does exactly what it was told. Nothing. No email, no alert, just silence. A quick board because this is the lesson. The old way cron just fires a command at a time. If it fails, the error usually vanishes into an email nobody reads. A systemd timer instead fires a service. And a service is a first-class thing. It has a status, and it has logs you can actually read, which means a failed service can trigger another one automatically through on failure. That is the hook we were missing. And if an interviewer asks how you keep automation from failing in silence, on failure is the word they want to hear. Let's add it. We will not edit the original unit. We add a small override in a drop dash in folder. Cleaner and upgrade safe. Write one tiny rule into a small file. On failure, start cert-alert. That is a service that pages a human. Drop it into the override folder for the renewal service. Now any future failure shouts instead of whispering. Reload systemd so it reads the change. And confirm it took. On failure now points at our alert. The silence is over. If the renewal ever breaks again, someone will know within seconds. The playbook, a browser cert error. Prove the expiry with open SSL, sclient-dates. If renewal fails, never guess. The journal tells you why. Here it was a full disk. Full disk, DU finds the eater. Free it, then renew. And if automation failed in silence, the real fix is an alert. On failure on the timer's service. You are only done when the padlock is back, and not after is safely in the future. Here is the postmortem, and first that question. Why do certificates expire at all, like a passport on purpose? Because a short life limits the damage. If a key is ever stolen, an expiry date puts a hard stop on how long it can be abused. Expiry is a safety feature, which is exactly why renewal must be reliable. Now, our incident. The expired certificate was only the symptom. The first cause was a full disk, from the renewal's own unrotated logs. The deeper cause was silence. The automation had been failing for weeks, and nothing was wired to tell a human. Automating a task is only half the job. The other half is making failure loud. A backup or a renewal that fails quietly is not protection. It is a surprise, waiting for the worst possible moment. Wire the alert. That answer is what makes you sound senior. Case number 2, closed. If you want to catch silent failures before your users do, subscribe. The next case looks impossible. The database is running perfectly, and nothing on the network can reach it.